Hi, this is Dr. Frank Chopatini with the Church of Rational Truth. Today, our topic is why I chose rationalism or why I chose to be a rationalist in terms of religious views or church views of what I believe or what I go towards. I would say there's a good number of reasons. Before I became a rationalist, I was more on the atheist agnostic scale, more of just saying, you know what, I don't think that there's anything out there, probably no God. Ended at that. But I really don't think that that was quite enough. I don't think that that really answered things. It was very much a, well, this is just it. We know this. We know everything. We're done with this. Versus rationalism is a little bit different. Rationalism is more of we are going to apply science and reasoning to religion to find out truths, to understand what is real, what is not real, and it can span and include agnosticism and atheism, but it can also span and include all the other religions. I think one of the nice advantages that it has against just being a pure atheist or pure agnostic is it is much more interpretation to things that are, I don't want to say spiritual, but more difficult to answer, like concepts of death, concepts of consciousness, what happens after you die, do we have a soul? And instead of just saying, well, probably no, it more goes, well, let's look at it, let's analyze it, let's see what is the truth about it. Can we kind of go through the facts, apply the scientific method, and then gain more data on it to be able to push or to be able to found our religious beliefs or to be able to form our religious beliefs. So that way you can actually, take scientific benefit and then be able to apply it to religion to hopefully get some big answers. Uh, that is a nice benefit for it because most people go to religion to try to answer those big questions. And if you don't have some way of getting that, you're kind of left kind of empty with, well, this still doesn't answer all these things that I'm looking for. How do I get to that answer? Rationalism doesn't necessarily have that answer. It doesn't necessarily be like, well, this is everything that goes on, but it does give you that framework of, well, this is how we're going to try to find it out. We're going to go and evaluate all these things. We're going to try to be scientific about it. And then hopefully with enough time and analysis, you can actually get down to the truth and say, well, now we know this happens. Or we'll be able to say, yeah, this we still don't have evidence for. This is what's up in the air. And this is what we still need to kind of look into and try to figure out more about. Um, I would say the real big reason or the real benefit of rationalism is it is the only religion that can say that it will be true. It will be the right and correct religion. All the other religions, I would say, are probably flawed, and I don't think that any other more formal religion can say that. I mean, everybody can say that they're the most accurate, but none of them really has proof. Versus rationalism, most religions go, this is what we believe, and these are the evidences that we can to try to prove it, but they start with the belief and then find the proof later. Versus rationalism is the opposite. Rationalism doesn't start with these are our beliefs, let's go and find evidence. Rationalism goes, let's go and find evidence and then use that evidence to help form what our beliefs are, which is the exact opposite of what most religions do. By doing that, you're actually basing the religion off reality. You're basing it off truth. You are trying to find what the answers are, what the evidence is for the answers, and then use that to form your religion instead of trying to make your religion force reality into shaping it into fitting your religious mold. And because you're doing that with your religious beliefs, it will, with enough time, data, and analysis, be eventually correct. Now, whether it actually goes in line with any of the other formal religions, who knows? Time will tell, hopefully, knock on wood. But the benefit is, if there is something wrong that you're believing in terms of rationalism, like if something has led you to a certain conclusion, once you get more data that goes against that, you have the ability to change, you have the ability to adjust, and then go, well, now the data doesn't support this belief, we need to change to be able to fit that data. So eventually it will be correct in the beliefs and the morals, the truths, the answers. They will eventually be accurate because the scientific method will narrow down things until you eventually have a movement closer and closer to the truth. So that is the one thing that does give me solace at night is I know that even though I might not have all the answers now or I might not know the answers, if you keep pushing for rationalism, eventually you'll be able to get more and more data and be able to get closer and closer to accurate answers to what's going on. Versus if you're in other religions, who knows? You could be completely right, you could be completely wrong, and you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket in terms of just saying, well, this belief has to be true or else, well, we're not changing. Versus rationalism will always be changing, modifying, adjusting, because it does the opposite. It bases beliefs based on proof, not a belief then find the proof from it. So that is probably the two biggest reasons why I've chosen to be rationalist versus choosing any other religions. I do think it is nice to be able to get bits and pieces of other religions and to be able to analyze them, interpret them, and actually look to see is there any truth in them. I think it's good that we are able to bring science into religion instead of just separating the two and saying, here's science, stay over here, here's religion, you stay over here, don't fight. I think that's crazy. I think you should be able to take science in and say, look, we've got this method of determining what is real and not. Let's apply it to religion and then be able to see, okay, do we actually have something here that stands up that is proven by reality? Or do we have something where reality kind of says, you know what? These things all don't make sense. We really probably shouldn't believe in these things because we can prove them wrong or we can disprove them. Versus many religions will just go, well, faith and leave it at that. And then that's a really ignorant way of going about something, especially when you have a clear conflict of what your beliefs are and what reality is actually backing up. So that's that's it for just a brief explanation. Hopefully that helps other people think about it if they are thinking about changing their religion, joining their church, or just want more information on why it would be good to be a rationalist. We don't like proselytizing, so this is hopefully not a try to sell it to you or trying to sell the religion to you, but hopefully it's kind of an insight on why someone else actually chose this versus one of the many other belief systems that are out there. And hopefully it will just give some people some more information. We'll come back next week with another lecture, and hopefully you all will come back and watch that. And if you have any comments, please leave them below, or any suggestions on what we should do for future videos. This is Dr. Frank signing off, and I'll see y'all next week.